Which is the properest day to sing? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Which is the properest day to sing? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Each to be sure is a mighty by day. Let's all name the one. I don't know the words. Each to be sure is a mighty by day. Let's all name the one day. Which? Let's all make a soufflé. Let's all make a soufflé. We're making a soufflé. We're making a lemon soufflé. When the world gives you lemons, make soufflé and lemonade. Well, we'll make lemonade, but we're making a soufflé today. It rhymes. Soufflé today. Soufflé is a lovely word, isn't it? Yes, soufflé. Sounds very complicated, but actually it's very easy. If you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing and you just say to yourself, I can do this. What you're going to do is provide that support for our soufflé, because the soufflé is going to come above the dish, about that much above the dish. So we need a piece of greaseproof paper, making a collar, just folding it over like that, wrapping it around the dish, and take a piece of string, you could hold that. You need two people to do this. Happy memories. Try not to tie your friend to the dish. We call this. Sorry. Because they'll be stuck there for the rest of their lives. But if they're not a very good friend, then you can. Well, no, I wouldn't want to do that even if you're not. Oh, you're nice. I'm glad I'm your friend. Are you? Oh, put your finger there. Promise I won't do it too tight. Well, you need to get some in a minute. Yeah, I'm going to get some. Why don't you go and get some fennel? I secretly filmed the rest of it.
I surprised Jo with the amount of fennel that was picked.
Oh, what's that? I don't think we're quite like me that much, Annabelle. Okay, so we need to separate the eggs. Separate the yolks from the whites. We're using an egg separator, which is a crazy little gadget, but it works.
Yeah, another way to do it would be to open the egg out and do it in your hands. Or in the eggs. Do you get in the eggshell?
Sometimes, yeah, but it's the eggshell can sometimes crack the yolk. And if you get any yolk at all in there, any fat at all in there, then you're going to have to start again, because the whites need to be fluffed up, and they won't fluff up, will they, if they've got any fat in them, no, at all. Any trace of fat in the bowl or anything. So yeah. We need to make sure. So there. Now the eggs separated. Nice tidy little bowl for the rubbish. So I'm just starting to take the rind off the lemon. This is a lovely rinder. Yeah, see, really superb. Because it gives you a lovely fine rind as well. You can get rinders that give you a more of a coarse rind, but for a dessert like this, you want something that's
very fine.
Very, very fine. And so that's what we're doing.
It's really the zest, isn't it?
It is just the zest. So you don't go down to the white at all. That's very bitter, the white bit. Now, so we need to have the zest of 2 lemons. 2 quite large lemons. So, and this, yeah, the pans, I've got a pan of boiling water, which is about that full, and that's ready for this. I'm going to put the gelatin in here, the lemon juice, and then the powdered gelatin in there as well. Put that into a saucepan, so it's like a bain-marie, so that goes into the saucepan with the lemon juice and the gelatin in there, and the gelatin will then dissolve. When it's dissolved and cooled, then that's going to be added to the soufflé to make it set. We need the juice. Okay.
I just use my hands as juice, do you normally?
Yeah, what I will do though is have a strainer to catch the pips. Because if the pips get into anything that you're cooking, they can be very, very bitter. If ever you bite into a pip,
it's terrible.
Horrible, isn't it? It's really the most
taste.
bitter, horrible taste. So the powdered gelatin's going to go in there, like that. Oh, there's going to be one out there. So 1.5 sachets, which is about 3 teaspoons full. If you put too much gelatin in, the soufflé will be rubbery. So that's going to go in there. I'm going to put that into a bain-marie now. So that's going to go in there with hot water a little way up the dish, and that'll just melt. Oh, yeah. 150 grams of caster sugar. So that's going in there.
I'm trying to get the beaters for this.
The beaters. But what we're going to do is beat up the whites first.
Okay.
Because remember, if you have any fat into the whites at all, they won't fluff up. So we need to beat up the. I'll get the chef. The chef. Annabelle's going to do skip the whites.
whisk up the yolks with the sugar. This was my favourite job as a child. Turning one thing into something else. It's great, isn't it? How long is that? The size, you know, over the Winfrey downhill. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I'm going to add some fennel. I'm just going to slip it into here because the lemon juice and the gelatin's dissolved in the lemon juice and the rind, and so it's nice and warm. So what that'll do is infuse the fennel and make the flavour pop out. Okay. So we've got 300 ml of cream there. I'm just going to get the see the lovely patterns in the sand. Yes. Egg whites, egg yolks and sugar, gelatin, juice, rind and fennel, whipped up cream. Oh, yeah. So all of these are going to be combined, and the best way to do that is if you put a little bit of the yolk mixture into the whites first. Like that. That just introduces them to the whole concept of having that's a good trick. Something else. Oh, introduces them to the whole concept. It's okay, now I've introduced you. Now, come on, let's go. Let's run with it. Let's party. Let's party. And then just a little bit. And what we want to do is try and keep the air in those whites. It's a tricky old thing, isn't it? It's a tricky old thing. All you have to do is just be quite gentle, really. Yeah, fold and be gentle. It's a fold. It's not a stir, really, is it? Oh, it's a fold. It's a sort of folding and being respectful of the bubbles, isn't it? Respecting each bubble. Say go down the middle and round, and then go down and round the other way. Yeah, she would say a figure of 8, wouldn't she? Yeah. But I think you have to just move around a little bit to make sure you get it all mixed in. So there, a little bit more. Cool. So there. So that's all nice and fluffy. And then if we add the cream, if you'd like to add the... Oh, sorry. Well, actually, yeah, put the cream in. All of it, or shall I introduce them slowly? Get to know each other. I think cream is something that probably might want to just dive straight in, actually. So that's all beautifully mixed in. Would you like to pour that in? Yeah. Only the gelatin. But just it's really cool, doesn't it? Yeah, it's cooled quite a lot. It still has a little bit of warmth to it, but it has to have, otherwise it start setting. Now the trick is to pour it in really slowly and just keep mixing, because if you stop mixing, this is when you're going to get strings of gelatin. This is when you need your friend to come in. Oh, it's perfect, Jo. So our colour, what you have to just pour that. Ooh, I suppose it's a bit like a push into there. It is, isn't it? So you can see how that's going to come. So you're creating an invisible mould, a mould which will then be invisible. That's absolutely, yeah. Which will be taken off, and there it is. That now will go into the fridge and set for. Shall we show an hour? Right. Lemon souffle. It's ready. So I'm going to get out of the fridge and hope it's safe. Oh my god. Is it? I think it's set. So, from lemons to soufflé. Oh, lovely. Soufflés cannot be turned back into lemons, but lemons can be turned into soufflés. Fennel! Very carefully. Just. Are you fanning yourself? It's too hot. Lemon, fennel, soufflé. Wow, it looks lovely. I didn't even see it. Shall we try it? Yeah. Didn't even see it. Today is lemon souffle day, after all. It's lemon souffle day on the calendar. Could have had teaspoons, but I think you need large. Oh, yum. You go first. Oh, bringing back memories already. Amazing.
Spring was now waiting for us, girl. It ran one step ahead as we followed in the dance. Between the parted pages and were pressed in love's hot fevered iron like a dry pair of hands. The Carter's pocket melting in the dark, all the sweet green I think flowing down. Someone left the cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it, 'cause it took so long to bake it, and I'll never have that recipe again. Oh,